Hi, my name is Gavin Dawson, owner of Global Emergency Medics, and here in association with PowderCloud. In this video, we are going to highlight the essentials of a backcountry ski first aid kit. We hope this video will allow you to walk away with the fundamentals, allowing you to be prepared for most medical situations. While designing your backcountry ski first aid kit, it's important to compartmentalize the kit in order to stay organized and allow you to appropriately address each individual concern. I want to highlight that we build this kit in order to access the most essential pieces first. So this is the first aid kit that I personally take out into the backcountry while skiing. As you can see, it is small, compact, and lightweight. This is going to be ideal for a single day tour. Within this first bag, I have the supplies to address life-threatening critical system problems. You'll see that I have some ACE bandage in addition to a piece of roller gauze. I use this in order to get well-aimed direct pressure and stop a life-threatening critical system bleed. I also am going to have a pocket mask. This is in particular a new mask, which will allow me to rescue breathe for a patient. And it's a good idea in your top primary assessment bag to also have a pair of nitrile gloves in order to ensure you are protected while working with this patient. In the wounds kit, I have several supplies to deal with bleeding, but first and foremost, we have supplies that are going to allow you to clean a patient's wound. Once again, I have another set of gloves to ensure protection. And then it's important that you clean a patient's wound, ideally using clean drinking quality water. If you don't have access to that, these povidone iodine swabs are another important tool. If you do have clean drinking quality water, we want to ensure that we irrigate this patient's wound under pressure, and thus we have a small irrigation syringe which will allow us to get direct pressure on this wound and clean it. There's a variety of smaller bandages and gauze, and then we also have some moleskin. And finally, we just have some bigger pieces of gauze. You'll also find some more roller gauze. And then in order to ensure that this patient's wound is protected from the outside environment and that the dressing stays on, we have some Coban or vet wrap. This is great tape as it is self-amalgamating. It will stick to itself. Important to recognize that in a lot of backcountry skiing environments, when the elements are against us, it's cold, it's wet, that a lot of tape can just slide right off. Coban will stick to itself. Within the medications bag, I try and keep it pretty simple. This is going to be all over-the-counter medications that are going to work with pain management as well as wound cleaning. In here, you'll see just a variety of different meds such as Advil or ibuprofen. We'll have some Tylenol or acetaminophen. We also have some triple antibiotic ointment, which we will apply to the patient's wound after we have finished cleaning it. I also have some sort of easily digestible simple sugars such as a honey packet or cake frosting, maybe even almond butter. This is going to allow your patient to fuel their own fire from the inside and stay warm while you're working with any sort of medical problems you may encounter. Finally, I have just a couple pills of diphenhydramine or Benadryl, and this can work with any sort of allergic reaction someone may have in the field. You'll notice I don't have an EpiPen in this kit. The question often comes up of whether to bring an EpiPen in your backcountry ski first aid kit. And the answer really comes down to ensuring you do your pre-course or your pre-trip homework. Do the individuals on your trip have any conditions that would warrant bringing an EpiPen in the field? You can always modify your kit based off of who your backcountry ski partners are. Here is my tool kit, and you'll find that I have several types of good tape that will work in the backcountry. It is imperative that you find a tape that works, such as duct tape. I also carry with me several zip ties. These are extremely lightweight, but also very versatile for a variety of different situations you might find yourself in. There's a small pair of trauma shears in case you need to cut away or cut through different articles of clothing. You'll find a pair of tweezers. This is going to be important for wound cleaning. And then an essential piece in any first aid kit is going to be a good knife. And finally, my musculoskeletal kit. In it, I have a SAM splint, a great tool which will allow you to create a splint for a variety of different musculoskeletal injuries. And lastly, I have several triangular bandages. These are great to create a sling or swath if you have a dislocated shoulder, a broken collarbone. These can also be used as tie downs for a lower leg injury type of splint. In addition to my first aid kit, I also carry a rescue kit. This kit has some form of communication, some form of transportation, and some form of shelter. This is going to be a satellite communication device such as a Garmin InReach, a rescue sled, and an emergency shelter. Here's my first aid kit. As you can see, it doesn't look like much, but it has all the essentials needed to treat common backcountry medical conditions. However, more important is that you know how to use it. I highly encourage you to further your education by taking a Wilderness First Responder Woofer course.